Welcome to part 4 of our gardening workshop, where we'll be discussing the importance of using calendars in your gardening routine. Calendars or a planner is a valuable tool for any gardener, as they can help you stay organized and ensure that you are planting and caring for your plants at the right times. Gardening calendars can also help you track progress of your plants and document your gardening successes and failures. By keeping notes in your calendar or planner, you'll be able to see what worked well and what didn't. You can reference that information next year, and then you can make adjustments for the subsequent growing seasons. So, why do you need a garden calendar? It's just one of the best ways to plan and manage your gardening strategy. While it's important to have that planting plan in place, it's equally important to determine when to plant and then when to note and record keep that things have happened and occurred, like growth and goodness has happened in your garden. A calendar will help you keep track of planting dates, watering schedules, when you've amended soil, anytime there's been an extra rainy day, things like that. By having a clear plan in place and sticking to it, you'll be able to avoid mistakes and give your plants the best possible chance at success. So let's talk about calendar formats. There are 3 that I want us to talk about today: the yearly overview, the weekly overview, and the daily. The yearly overview is sort of like your year at a glance. This can be helpful for it. It's not as in depth as the seasonal task list, but it's going to give you a really quick, on one page, at a glance, way to reference what needs to happen and when. It gives you a to-do list for each month. This could include tasks that need to be completed that month, such as planting, watering, fertilizing, pruning, things like that. And we'll talk about this more in the next section, but when you buy a plant, it comes with a tag on it, and you can note, it'll say, if it's a rose, it'll say that the right time to prune this plant is in February, after this or before this. And so these things can really start to even clutter up a calendar. So this to-do list by month helps keep a high-level overview of the stuff that you need to be working on. By breaking down your gardening tasks into monthly to-do lists, you'll be able to stay on top of everything and ensure that your plants are well cared for. And it will help you with fertilizing and harvesting as well, to note when those things need to start to happen. It's a good idea to revisit this list at the beginning of each month and make adjustments as needed based on weather patterns or anything else that you might be noticing. Sometimes it's hard to notice those things in your first year of your gardening because you really are getting a handle on what's happening when. But even if this is why record keeping is important, is so that you can reference it next year. Maybe you make this list to sit down and get started, and you don't do all the things on the list. We'll cross it out and then create a new list for next year based on this list. The next format I want to talk to you guys about is the monthly calendar. This can include planting dates, watering schedules, pest and disease monitoring, and any other important gardening tasks. It gets a little bit granular. It's great for tracking seeds if you want a calendar view of tracking anything that you've done with seed starting. Being able to look ahead in a monthly format will allow you to feel empowered to stay on top of everything. And it can also help you. You also might want to think about marking when there might be plant sales or garden tours or workshops in your area. In Oklahoma, there is an Arbor Day event that I need to mark on my calendar because they give out free trees. How cool is that? Or inexpensive trees. And the last It's not really a calendar, but it is a tracking sheet that I want to talk to you guys about, the seasonal tending list. So the beauty of this worksheet, again, is that it is an at one glance on one page overview. You can write your plant name in the left-hand column, and then you'll have to reference your plant profile sheet to figure out what needs to happen in that month for that plant. For example, my roses need to be pruned one month and fertilized the next month. But this is just a way for you to uh, just know, have you checked that plant? Have you cared for that plant that month? And just put an X or a check mark in the spot. For example, in the spring, you might focus on planting and soil preparation, while in the summer, you might focus on watering and pest control. And every plant's needs are going to be different. That's why we have the plant profiles, but this list can help you just make a really just quickly glance and make sure that you've taken care of all your plants. And this concludes part 4, and I'll see you next in part 5.